capacity. Final Fantasy, like
Yeah, you'll be playing Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Oh,
I played Final Fantasy 7. 7's my favorite. You don't have an Xbox, right?
no.
Yeah,
I just
I played on Xbox, so I played Crisis Core. But I noticed the remake and rebirth that they have on PS4. I just don't want to buy another console for it.
we live at the moment though.
Okay. So
Welcome. I'm trying to have a background though. You know how they do in Zoom, they have a background. Yeah, I'm trying to have a background for this. This is just a test run though.
okay, well,
So we're gonna be like,
I mean, if you want to do this as the background, I don't know if that's if you like having the scenery as part of the background.
sure.
I mean, I like this setup.
Yeah, this one will be good. You sit right here, I'll sit right here. Oh, I'll sit right here, you sit right here.
Okay.
We can cut the beginning though.
It's not professional, but I mean, it's cool.
This is just a test drive though. Everybody have a humble beginning though. Nobody's still big though.
I mean,
You can take a seat.
you could have a YouTube video and already be successful. Like I noticed, like music artists that don't do live streaming. So I mean, there's that.
Are you gonna sit? There we go.
Okay, so just doing a partial view, right?
Yeah. Like this.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome to our podcast, The Faith and Philosophy. My name is EJ and your name is?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. You think you can introduce yourself? We've been having multiple conversation about religion, faith, science, and everything. We both have a very different view on life, religion, and everything. Like we are like the total opposite on many things. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm a Christian, and I do believe that there's a God, and I do believe that there's objective truth, there's morality. That I think that we came not just from atoms or from different species, but I think there's a God that created everything.
Then we came from Adam and Eve. What you mean we don't come from Adam?
Atoms, like particles. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, but everything is made out of particles, though.
If you want to classify, look, that's not a contradiction. So if you want to sit there and say that we're composed of atoms, that's not contradictory to the Bible. But it's just, I don't believe in evolution. That's what I would say. It's my resounding evidence that I have. It's the most extreme, this difference between the two that I would say the difference between us is kind of that a process that kind of pulled everything together. What caused everything to come into togetherness? What to fruition? So we kind of have a disagreement on that.
I strongly believe in evolution and science, though.
Yeah.
I used to be religious, though. I remember when I was younger, I used to try to get people into religion. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm not a Christian." I'm like, "Oh, how could you not follow Christianity?" But as I grow up, as I get into my passion about history, which really saved my life, I'm starting to learn about different culture, different world. Like, it's not that I don't fully believe in everything. It's just that I feel like religion extremists. It's like so much.
Okay.
With religion, you could only be one thing. You could either believe or not believe, which I find is like it kind of siphon creativity. It kind of siphon people. It's like there's only one way to live your life, though. It's like you can live your life any way you want to live it, though. That's what I mean.
Yeah, so I just was watching a video on this, and they had a guy. Actually, you may know the channel that I was watching.
You okay?
Yeah, it's just
You're not making contact with the camera.
I just had the Jeff Jensen, whatever.
Would you like it for you to start with audio only?
No, I'm
Okay.
So the guy that was on staring. And let me know if I'm looking at the camera because I don't know.
Yeah, you just gotta look straight at it, but you keep looking all around.
Yeah,
Just look at the screen and then
I
you
think
look
I
at
took the cameras above. So
yeah, it's right here.
so pretty much what I was trying to decipher from that video was that the guy, it's a little different. So he's not. It's not an exact one-on-one, but he kind of was saying that he respects atheists, but he himself is kind of a believer. So he would say that he's a Christian, but yet he respects all other beliefs, and I think that's this kind of stands on. Well, not necessarily one or the other reason for why someone kind of leaves the faith. There's many reasons. I think one of the reasons, or what he was kind of really kind of hard for him to deal with, was that why would such a loving God want to punish people or put people to hell? And he kind of said that he just doesn't believe that. He believes that there's kind of this whole spectrum, kind of like different pathways you can follow and still be a good person. And he believes that himself, that he doesn't consider himself a bad person. So there's no contradiction there, just because of the fact that the Bible would say that there is judgment of people that kind of live a certain way, or that even people that just don't want to live separate from God, that would be a punishment for that. And he said he just doesn't know why that would be, or that Jesus doesn't believe that that's kind of the case. So he was kind of more in a sense of a universalism, kind of saying that you can have all these different faiths that you're a part of and still kind of be able to get to heaven. So that was his philosophy. Now, I would disagree with that because much like any person, it's just kind of falls into a subjective kind of view on what good is. So like you would say, like what would you say for people like Adolf Hitler, like maybe Joseph Stalin, who've killed people? Like, would those people be able to get to heaven because they're choosing their own way, or is there some sort of punishment for that? And everyone kind of has their own answer as to what would be a appropriate punishment. There's some people that say that yeah, he could go there, or some people that say not. So in any case, my really position with this, not to get over sensibilized with everything, but just it's kind of neutral, just to kind of simplify it. It's just more so me explaining that I believe that there is a judgment for evil, and people in whatever context. I believe that there should be an eternal standard that's which we should all be able to live by too.
Yeah, I don't hate Christian. I feel like I understand that, but I don't understand the extremism of Christianity. Like everything outside of Christianity is just evil to them. That's the thing That's the thing I don't really vibe with. It's like, why is everything outside of Christianity just evil and demonic? Why is everything either this way, is either Christian or it's the devil, is either this? It feel really one-sided though, because there's many paths though. Like even walking to school, to church, to somewhere, there's like many paths though. So why is it always one path you need to go? Like something I admire about Christianity and religion of all time is the sense of community. I wouldn't consider myself an atheist, but I'm pretty distant from church for the most. I go to church when I get the chance to. I just feel like Christianity and religion have a strong sense of community, which is a good thing because we're a social creature, we're a social animal. Like nobody like to be alone. That's something that Christianity and all other religion is big at.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that. I think that that's very important. Like you just said, community.
Yeah,
I want to strongly uphold having a solid foundation of community, and really the question becomes not is community good or bad, but rather how do you build a good community? And I think Christianity lays a good foundation of how to do that. It talks about more things like love. It talks about forgiveness. It talks about being able to be there, being faithful, and all those virtues. I think those are all very important things to practice that we should all be able to do. And I think the Christian faith talks about this in a way that's more profound than other religions. And I think that if we are to kind of create a strong community of people, I think that it's going to be a bad thing to follow those teachings.
Yeah, I feel like that's something people like in the modern age is community. Me myself, I told you about that. I feel like I don't have a strong community. I feel like that's something a lot of people that have to come to when they leave the church though. The church is a good community, but sometimes it could be negative though. There's some stuff the church does that's very negative though. And in the modern world, so many people not religious, they don't go to church. There's like no other community after you graduate from school, college. What other community it is, life become very bland and boring, and everything become dull and gray. That's one of my issue with the modern day though, because it's hard to find people like mind like you. How you say it?
Like-minded.
Like minded
Yeah.
like you though. It's very hard to find that because people that are outside the church are usually to find and have community hard to find, and you don't find much community. Most of the community will be online.
Yeah, definitely. I think like one of the major issues, right? Like finding friends, like something like that, you would say.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of something that a lot of people don't really discuss. I'm actually very passionate about that subject. It's like, well, you know, why? First of all, like, how do you love someone that's in general? But how do you also love someone that's like a friend or like someone you just like you want to be with?
Yeah, there's like
And
yeah, I get what you mean. Type of how would you call it? The type of camaraderie, the type of friendship. You got a love type of friendship, a familiar type of friendship, and a friend. Those are the three type of friendship I would consider. Somebody that's your friend, not romantic or not family, and you got your family that grow up with you all your life, and somebody you want to spend your life and have children. It's hard growing up to
um,
find them in the new generation. It's not hard, but a lot of people lost touch with each other in the generation.
well, I wouldn't sit there and say that you could have that same intimacy with a man, because assuming that's just my belief that if you were to sit there and say that you can have that same kind of intimacy that you would with a man of the same sex, I'd say that's going a step too far. But I also do believe that men should be more intimate with each other. I think that that's very important, and I think that through
So
having a good community and a good foundation, we can have that. But that just needs to be in check and aligned with the teachings of the gospel, because that is ultimately how friendships can be made. So,
what
like you said,
what do you mean by intimate with men? You just say you don't wouldn't like men to be.
that's no, that's a
What type of
that's a perversion of
what type
intimacy.
of intimacy you mean?
So, like men being close with one another, because that's a really big issue. Like you have all this division, you have all this hatred going on in the world, and then people turning against each other, wanting to most of their own things that, or actually wanted to seek their own validation, seek their own um, feelings of wholeness, wanting to seek their own worldly pleasures, and that's a big problem. So you have that going on, and people are just really turning against each other in this world, and that's a very bad thing. I'm saying that look, men are not being as close to one another as they should be, and you have women that seem to know more about it than men, how to hang out, how to do all these good communities and activities. But then you see men and just wanted to go to bars and drinking, getting themselves drunk, and just hanging out, doing all this fornicated, just the sexual morality and murder, death, and all this kind of other garbage. Just like, well, where did we go wrong? Why is this being perpetuated down generations of men? Why are we, enticing men to follow this type of disruptive pathway? So no, I don't think that that's how men should be loving each other, and that's a wrong way to do it. But there is a good way to do it, and the Bible actually affirms a kind of love that we see all throughout the Old Testament onto the New Testament. And that's where I can start using some of my biblical knowledge and start actually showing men, okay, what is love? Like, how do you love someone without it becoming lust? Because there's this distinct difference. So the reason why a lot of friendships will fail in the first place is because they're either self-seeking, or they're built upon validation, like or status level rather. Like I'm going to use you as a way of a stepping stone to get to where I need to go into life. That's wrong. What's also wrong is hanging out with people just because they're a part of a group. Like you don't just hang out with a group of people just because they're inviting you to do it. Now, after telling you to do something that's obviously wrong and that's harming other people, then you shouldn't be enticed to go to those. But because we have such a lack amount of discernment within the church and within other people, especially men, that's where the line gets drawn. That's why we have all this divide and all this division that's going on in the body of Christ and all this.
You never explain your intimacy. Like men should be more
Okay,
intimate.
okay. So I'm going to get to that. So you said how we're getting to that. So I was saying how before men are not actually getting in touch with each other, like
I mean,
actually.
like brotherly friendship, like they used to have back then. Like people, they grow up with each other. They go to the army. You know history, right? They grow up with each other. They go to training with each other. You know what I mean, right?
That's
Like
better.
blood brother. That's how you call them, blood brother.
Okay, well, I don't like blood butter because that kind of entices to some sort of like some sort of risque kind of like
No.
like
They
murder
all they
sense.
do,
sense.
yeah, because they was in the army. Though most of blood brothers are from the army.
Okay.
They usually cut their hand and then they shit it. Or they drink. Different culture, they got different ways. They either drink sake together or they cut themselves in the sense
Yeah.
to mark their friendship.
So here's where most men are at. Most men are either in relationships that are damaging, and what is what many people will do. Many people, instead of looking for brotherly loves to go with, they'll just oftentimes look for like a woman. Like they'll chase after a lovable woman instead of chasing after a male friend, which is fine. Like if you have that kind of intimacy and desire for a woman, that's fine. But then you're also cheating on that woman and making her feel bad in the last run, in the long run, and then she's hurt and broken, and you're broken too because you put yourself together with her. Now you've put a piece of you into her and a piece of hers in you. So now it's this whole chaos, and that's not good either. Secondly, men will be with other men that are doing risky or dangerous acts or getting themselves drunk or destroying themselves, in other words, and that's not good. And then like the third one, like you said, men using other men or whatever, that's stepping stones to get more success out of them, get more whatever. So just completely disrespectful and degrading a man. So now I'm going to talk about what intimacy with a man is, and this is very important. So first of all, you need to understand you have to maintain that relationship. You have to maintain that. You have to obviously care about the other person, like they're as though they're just equal to you.
Yeah.
So you obviously want to validate them. You obviously want to make them feel like they're loved. You want to make sure that they feel like that you're welcoming them, like you actually like they have a soul. So they matter. Okay, so it's not just treating them however you want or just like not doing anything, right? Because just you're neglecting them, it's just not going to work anyway out for you and another person. So that's just a waste of time at that point. If you're going to say that you love someone and then you just don't even like take the time to talk with them, that's not a friendship anymore.
Yeah.
So what is a friendship? We got to understand is being close to that person, actually wanting to seek out what they want to do, hearing about what a person's needs or their feelings, and then also what else? It's making sure you invest time into them. Okay, whether that be talking with them on the phone, whether that be just spending time having a communication with them, having a conversation. So just making that apparent and just checking up on them too, because we're all human, we're all men and women. We all need someone. So that's very important to have, and it's very important to have someone that that is just really cares about you. Just like how you may be saying like you have a family or something, but you may not have anyone else outside, and you just need an outside perspective too. Like we're all made to like the Bible affirms this. Like we're all made to love one another, and that's what the Bible wants us to do is love one another. How can you do that if you're not actually investing the time to spend with that other person? So you need to have that intimacy. You need to have that sort of connection. Okay. So now you got the firm foundation set up. So what's next? Now it comes the process of that. So it builds upon that every single time. So, you do one visit here and then do one phone call here, and then the next you can actually start to build upon that. Well, what's your interest like? What do you like? Like what interests do we both have? And see if there's a connection there in the first place before you start interacting and making other attempts to go draw closer to that other person. So because that's going to be very important for building upon that firm foundation to see whether or not that person is equally yoked to you. Because if you're hanging around someone that's not equally yoked with you, or just doesn't have anything in common with you, then that's not gonna work. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. But something when you grow up with friendship, though, that really affect most people is the finding the time to hang with your friend, though. Because I have a couple of friends and I haven't seen them in a couple of years. Like we haven't hang together, all of us, in a couple of years. I've seen one at a time, but we haven't hang out as a group as we used to do back when we was younger, when we just graduated high school. We haven't hang together like that. I see them, I talk to them, we have a good chat, but everybody's busy with work, life. We're in that age where we gotta figure it out. We gotta get our own place, our own spot. We're working, stuff like that, or we're trying to get a new job, stuff like that. We're trying to graduate, stuff like that. So we don't see each other as we used to see each other when we was younger. Because I feel like at the moment, for you to for you to find people, it gotta be for you to find people to, like minded with you. You have to have something, and you have to be in the same place with them almost every day. You have to meet them in the area. Like I used to hang with this guy. I had class with him last semester.
Hmm.
So every time we used to hang more. And this semester we don't hang that more anymore. We don't hang out that much no more. I only seen him once since this semester. We text, we call, but we don't chill like we used to do last semester.
Yeah, well, I think there's a big difference between the two. There's friends that you hang out all the time, and there's seasonal friends. So just like how I've had friends that I've wanted to call and look, I mean, I could go on a rant and I could go on a rant on how I've had the similar experiences, but that's not what this discussion is about.
Okay.
What the discussion's about is on just what kind of friends are there. So there's seasonal friends, like people that you really don't need to be close with, but you just have that
Yeah, I get it. There's,
you
there's
have those
more
people
than
you
one
have.
type of friend. There's like casual friend, semi casual friend, and there's really good friend, like people you go on trip with, people you go out with, like we go to the movie, to the park, we go on vacation with. That there's those type of friend. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was I going to say? So yeah.
Do
So
you
this,
mind if I check how the audio is going on?
sure.
Yeah. Like I think I'm gonna just end it and see. This is just a test, though.
So far, as we got this deep in the conversation.